Okay, so this is my response video with regards to this post here from the Ministry for Healthcare and Business. Allow me to read it out. COVID Fund public consultation. The Minister for Healthcare and Business has launched a public consultation on the use of the COVID Fund. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, countless individuals and commercial entities donated monies to assist the GHA in its fight against the pandemic. This money was consolidated into a special fund and has to date not been used. Members of the public are invited to put forward their ideas on how the money should be spent by writing to the Ministry for Healthcare and Business on this email. So, within this video, I would like to present my personal proposal. First and foremost, allow me to say it's really appreciated that something like this here is done. This should really be emphasized, and other ministries should do the same, yeah? To actually consult the public for new, fresh ideas regarding how funds can be spent in a situation like that. So well done. It's really, really appreciated. And as you will see from my proposal, this is a step in the right direction because we need more direct democracy, we need more transparency, etc. in GIB. I come to that. Now, so first and foremost, allow me to say what I would personally propose regarding these funds. To make a long story short, so there are two areas which I think these funds should be spent on. Allow me to start with the Gibraltar Startup Initiative. I just called it like that. And to make a long story short, you have to understand that if we want to be able to compete with other jurisdictions, if we want to improve our economy, if we want to modernize our economy, it's not that companies fall from the sky, okay? You have to understand we have to create better systems, a better infrastructure for local founders, entrepreneurs, young people who want to start new companies, new businesses, etc., for them to have a better chance to compete, to grow their companies, okay, so that one day these small startups will be big companies. Okay, so many people do not understand how important it is for any jurisdiction these days to make it attractive for startups. Okay, that's where organic economic growth comes from. All right? If you as a jurisdiction are able to attract founders and also to give the local founders, first and foremost, the right tools so that they have a better chance to create new companies, okay, in this digital age, then this will secure profitability and returns in the long term. Many companies will, of course, fail, but the ones who make it, they have the potential to become very big. And it's really shocking to see how this simple idea is overlooked these days, okay? So if you ask me, at least 50% of these funds should be spent on this topic. For example, it would be thinkable to create an investment committee by the government, and local founders can pitch their ideas to this committee, and the committee decides which of those startups could be investable and in which way. Okay, there are many ways of doing things, whether they will provide loans without interest or maybe take an equity stake. Okay, in the finance world, there are many ways of structuring those deals. But other places, such as Dubai, they have many more programs in place. So, to make a long story short, I recommend 50% of this fund should be spent in the area of local startups, okay, seeding. How can we seed local startups to give them a fair chance to compete internationally as well, okay, to give them a fair chance to one day create big companies out of those young companies, all right? I can tell you as an economist, this is essential. And this is overlooked. We are not doing enough in Gibraltar in that space. We can do much more. So this is a perfect chance to do that now and to create a new program which gives local founders a chance to participate in seeding rounds, to participate in different stage investments. And this can be done in many different ways. I should actually probably write out all these details in a written proposal. So maybe I do that in the next weeks. Okay, so that's very important. And it would be amazing if there's more awareness from the public as well as from politicians regarding the necessity of a startup infrastructure. It's absolutely thinkable in the case of Gibraltar to have a government-financed program which selects investments, okay, and which gives founders a chance to pitch. Okay, so that's that. Now, equally important, the other half I would spend on the following. We need more direct democracy in Gibraltar, as simple as that. Okay, we are not up to date. We are in 2024. Other places such as Switzerland have a very, very direct democracy. I'm not saying that we need to have the same model, but when it comes to some major decisions, it's absolutely feasible to ask the public via the online system, for example, over the eGov system, what they would vote for. And we are far away from a modern model where this is taken into account, all right? Where some of the decisions, not all, okay, but at least some of the major decisions are made via online polls. There needs to be a committee which ensures that those polls and the votes were done correctly, that there was no foul play, etc., etc. That all needs to be in place. But we need also the digital tools to have more direct democracy. Okay, there's no question about it. And allow me to say, in that context, right now, if you're a minister, and I know this is not true for everyone, but we are living in a time where it's very clear, yeah? I mean, this new generation, it expects people in public service to undertake efforts to have some online visibility. That means, I'm not saying that every minister needs to make videos every day. That would be too much. But as a general rule, every minister should make a video once per month and at least give a general update to the public about what they're working on. Do we know right now which minister is working on what? Not really. I mean, there are, the parliament debates and all that, but that's not good enough for 2024, okay? More and more people will expect a proper online presence of ministers, all right? And that's a big thing, and some ministers are trying to make this a standard now, which is great, but it's really not enough right now. Right now, it's not up to date, okay? We live in a digital economy. People want to be informed and involved, and in the best case, firsthand, all right? So if you're a minister, my humble suggestion is, please take this into account. We can't have backdoor politics all the time. Okay, these days are over. This is old school. Sure, there's a time and place for, private conversations, discussions, and all of that. But right now we are at the other side of the spectrum. For most ministers, there's very little online presence. Okay, now and then they appear in the media and whatnot. But that's not good enough. Okay, create processes where all ministers on a regular basis are reporting to the public what kind of topics they are working on, what the progress is. It doesn't need to be detailed neither, but in general terms, I think the public has a right to have something like this in place, all right? So that's also under that whole topic, yeah? Public digital transparency, all right? We need to remember, politicians are in public service to society. And in 2024, that means you need a digital presence. And that's not enough. We need more direct democracy. Okay? People, if they want to, need to be more involved in some major decisions. And there is discretion with regard to what kind of decisions should be put up for a virtual poll. However, right now we have basically nothing in place, yeah? It's too indirect, the democracy as it is right now. All right, so my personal response to this great post is put half of these funds into a proper startup infrastructure for local founders in Gibraltar, okay? To give our economy a push, all right? To get us to the next level, to be able to compete with other jurisdictions such as Dubai, okay, where we have like more entrepreneurial spirit, all right? Local one. So that's the one thing. It's very important. It's fundamental for our economy, all right? I can't emphasize that enough. Old industries are dying. New industries are coming, all right? But we need to do the right things now so that years later and decades later, okay, we have local companies which were able to grow because they got support at the beginning. And to summarize what I said, the other half I would spend on direct democracy tools, okay, especially digital infrastructure, all right, that there are two things. First and foremost, there's more transparency with regards to the work of all ministers. And secondly, there's even also online polls where citizens who are interested can vote on major issues, okay? And it's so looking at other places such as Switzerland to have more direct democracy. I think those 2 points would be super important. If the COVID funds are spent on these 2 topics, that would be amazing. That would be the right thing to do. It brings Gibraltar to the next level. Lots of love. All the best.